Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday morning for North Dakota Today. I'm Lisa Bedeau here with Chris Berg. How are you feeling on this Wednesday? We didn't say yesterday that we made it to Tuesday, so that must be a good thing. I feel like we're sliding through the week.
That is a very good point. I think we both can realize, like I was looking at the calendar, do you know what this Friday means? We're 2 weeks from 2021.
I have no funny jokes about 2021 today. I got to come up with some. I'm looking forward to the new year.
Oh, what was the one yesterday funny?
Okay, that's true. Fair enough. Fair enough. I know. We were talking about celebrating New Year's Eve. Well, you know, I work New Year's Eve. I work New Year's Day, so there's not a lot of celebrating. But it's going to be different. Celebrating the new year, no bars or restaurants, no toasting, you know,
I know.
In, you know, an establishment.
But so that's why you and I are doing what? Remember we talked about yesterday?
We're going to be celebrating in a cabana somewhere on the beach. Chris has some kind of connection to people with cabanas.
Or a barn. One of the two, either a cabana or a barn. One of the two.
I
but
said,
I will
like,
be DJing.
Bring back the Grove parties, and you're going to DJ. Yeah, that's the... We can socially distance out in an open field.
I've already started
North
the
Dakota.
place. I got Avicii, I got Drake. You got any requests?
Well, Taylor Swift has to be in there too. So.
Boy, I'm gonna have to mix the heck out of that to make that one good. But okay.
She's got some. I know her. She just released her second album to that huge hit that she had over the during the pandemic. So, but it's a very different, very soulful, earthy Taylor Swift.
Is Taylor Swift a country singer? Because I have no idea what you're talking about. What big hit song?
Well, she did have her last album that she came out with was it was a folk album, but she did have one country song on there. It was Betty, and then she did this is part 2. I actually wrote a ton during the pandemic, and Willow, I was just listening, and I was like, well, maybe I'm just pandemic has changed what I like to listen to, but now I'm like, oh, I'm feeling this. But yeah, I still like some party music. They're going to remix that stuff, and you can still dance to it.
That's what I'm saying. You know, I can mix some Drakes and Swift together on my turntable. So just come on out. It'll be a good time. There will be a password, so you're going to have to know that in order to get in. But, you know.
I think it's going to be Cabana. So, and then you can come on in. I don't know. So you're already planning for New Year's Eve?
Yeah, there might be a couple different passwords. Summertime might be one of them. So, yeah.
I know. I'm excited. I'm excited for a new, fresh start, starting something new, 2021. Things are looking up. I thought you were going to say something about Christmas, but because I'm still focused on that. And I know you'll have to look online because I don't know the dates and everything, but that's kind of coming out today. Like if you need to mail a present or you need to mail Christmas cards, that's getting to be. And you're like, what? I have a week and a half because you don't have to mail it. So if you don't have to mail it, you're all good. But go to valleynewslive.com if you're wondering what those deadlines are.
Maybe I'll just do it virtually. That just feels stressful right now. I think, okay, now I've got a deadline to mail stuff, and sorry, it might be a little bit late, but it's okay.
I'm doing a mix. I'm still shopping in town, but I am getting a lot of stuff still delivered from Amazon. I think I can admit this. I haven't told you, but I've told everyone else in the newsroom. You know, one day it was like 2 days ago, I got 3 or 4 boxes in the mail, and I just rip them open right away like a child, you know, and they're not even for me, but, you know, it's exciting to open up those Amazon boxes. And I opened one up. I hope this is not against the law, because maybe it is. But I opened one up and then realized it wasn't for me. It was delivered to the wrong house.
Ooh.
And so I was like, and it was a kid toy. So I was like, okay, how do I get them to come pick this back up? I don't know. I taped it back. I mean, I didn't open what was in it, but I opened the box, taped it back up, and then I thought, well, I need to just do my good deed. I opened their box, and so I went and delivered it. It was blocks
so
away.
It was a neighbor. Oh, okay.
It was, yeah. It was someone, you know, sometimes they'll deliver, they are delivering so much stuff that you'll just get the next door neighbor's box. Sometimes they get mine and they bring it over. Well, this one wasn't necessarily down the street. I did have to
can you give me the U.S. Attorney Drew Wrigley, please?
It's like,
yes,
I think
Mr.
opening
Wrigley?
Someone else's mail is like a federal crime, but it was
That's what I'm saying.
It was like a pile of boxes. There was all these Amazon boxes.
You know this is live and recorded, right?
It was at my house. They delivered it. You get those Amazon boxes and you're like, okay, yes, that is mine, and open it. Oh my goodness. I did my good deed though. I then delivered it, and it was actually quite a ways away.
What if JB would have ordered you something and he didn't want you to know, and then you already found out?
I would have known. He wouldn't have it delivered to the house. He's smarter than that. He would have it delivered to a shop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because in fact, he hates that I have stuff still delivered to the house because of porch pirates.
Oh.
So I tried to do,
Good
you know,
point.
we used to have, a lot of people used to have things delivered here, but now everything's kind of shut down, and so I feel like I don't want them. They would be sitting at the front door of Valley News Live. So people bring it in, so don't be coming here trying to steal our presents.
I wondered where some of my boxes have gone. Now maybe I know.
They're under my tree.
Again, U.S. Attorney Drew Wrigley, please.
I'm sure that happens more often than it should, but now I think I need to closely look and make sure anything that's delivered to my front door is actually my... Well, and boxes are different. Like, I feel like when you get letters in your mailbox, then, you know, you look. That's obviously not for me. I don't open it. But in an Amazon box, that shows up, I'm suddenly a 6-year-old child again. I'm like, ripping it open. What did I get?
You don't even read it. You just start...
I totally did. I ripped it all open.
I hope you're here tomorrow. That's all I'm going to say.
I nicely delivered it to the correct house.
You have the
I rang
right
the
to
door.
remain silent.
I first brought it up there and I set it there and then I was like, oh, you know, what if they probably are, what if they're home and they're like, what are you doing outside? So then I rang the doorbell and nobody answered and then I just left it.
Director Ben, can you read her Miranda rights, please?
No, sorry. Do not accidentally send anything to me because I will open it.
Anything you say can and shall be used against you.
It's a weird year.
I want to tell this story because I have a great story about, do you want to kind of walk us through this? And I have actually an incredible story about St. Peter's Square.
Oh, okay. Well, this is interesting to me. So you probably, you can imagine there's lots of beautiful nativity sets and scenes at the Vatican, St. Peter's Square. Well, this year, the scene is a little bit different than past years. This one resembles Darth Vader and even an astronaut. Yeah, so it's drawing criticism from visitors and, of course, on social media. Mary, Joseph, and the 3 wise men and the shepherds all look, well, according to some people, more like cubic chess figures.
I was going to say that.
The animals are squat and square. Apparently, Vatican City's municipal government decided to put this up, but it's a little bit different than normal. I see the astronaut there, an astronaut and Darth Vader.
So one year I went to Europe and I was in Rome and in Vatican for Christmas Eve. So I ended up going to midnight mass on Christmas Eve, which was obviously incredible. But to make a long story short, that night you walk around the Vatican and it was snowing out. They had this huge nativity scene. I mean, it was magical, right? Then they actually move you out of sort of the Basilica Square because they want to set things up for the midnight mass. And it's so funny because it's the Italians. So you're there for midnight mass. They got you outside. The cops are trying to keep you out. And I don't even know if I can do this on TV because I think it's a bad word in Italian. But all the Italians are yelling at each other, yelling at the cops, like, get me in, get me in. So anyways, I was going to sit in the back because, like, it's midnight mass. I'm in a place I have no idea where I'm at. I'm thinking, I just got to get out of here. Well, then the seats started to open up front. I started moving up front. I'm hanging out with, like, these people from Argentina, this doctor from Italy. We're chatting. And all of a sudden, I see everyone take a mad dash to my left. So I'm like, all right, I'll just take a mad dash. Next thing I know, I am inside the Vatican for midnight mass on Christmas Eve with the Pope. And every 25 years, they open up this, like, special door. So it was one of those things where it was like, I'm just going to go see what's going on. And the next thing you know, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm actually sitting here.
That's an incredible story.
It was unbelievable. I'm sitting inside the Vatican for midnight mass in, obviously the Vatican, but I would call it Rome. And it was just one of those kind of like, is this really happening to me?
Right. That's a great story, a great memory.
It was fantastic.
And you didn't see any, like, nativity sets that looked like Darth Vader or an astronaut?
No, not then.
Different times.
Not then. It was the nativity scene, and it was just, I remember walking by, and, like, the snowflakes to me looked like they were this big, and it was just like, oh my gosh, it was incredible.
Any pictures?
I have some, but I don't know, actually, I'm embarrassed to say I don't know where they're at.
They are. Okay. Well, we have a great show planned for you today. Coming up next, we're talking fashion, some great pieces that will keep you warm and cozy this holiday season with Mainstream Boutique.